Peace and blessings, everybody. Thank you for your comments and for watching my video before about spiritual warfare. And I just wanted to make another video to talk about a different aspect of it, and it's just going to be real quick. I just want to start with a passage from the Honorable Nicholas Farrakhan from his book called Closing the Gap on page 37 for those who have it. And this section is called The Process Toward Perfection. And Mr. Farrakhan says, whenever a life is in transition from imperfection toward perfection, there is a constant process of change, growth, and transition. Stage 2, change and growth and transition. Stage 3, change, growth, and transition. We are constantly in stages of growth, and between each stage is a transitional stage. This is the most dangerous part of the journey because many things can get lost in translation. And I just wanted to talk about that part because sometimes being in spiritual warfare will come when we're in that position that we're transforming, that a change is going to come, or Allah God is preparing us for something else in our life, and He wants us to be, sharper. He wants us to be ready, more refined, and He wants to take us through a purification process so that we can be ready for that stage. And in that transitional stage is sometimes where we can feel the most vulnerability. And in that vulnerability is when we will become weak and susceptible to things or energies around us. And so it's important to protect ourselves during this stage. One of the things I wanted to talk about, especially for my sisters, not to say brothers don't go through it too. One of the things is that we can emotionally eat during times like that. We can find a comfort in food, right? Like we won't necessarily be hungry, but we'll crave something sweet, or we just had a meal, but now we want to eat again. And it's a false comfort in the food. And it's one of the symptoms that can be from being in a transitional phase, or, while we're going through a warfare. And the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, he teaches us that our stomachs is really our mind. It's like our second mind. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me in the comments below. But I believe that's what he said, that our stomachs is like our mind. And so if our mind isn't right, then, our stomachs won't be right. And we'll tell ourselves in our mind, I'm hungry, I need a snack, I need something to make me feel better. But it's not our real minds. And so this is a really good opportunity to fast when we're going through times like this, because it will help build the will. And just to be able to say, you know what, even if it's just for a day, or 12 hours, if you've never fasted before, just start what you can. But how many hours you say, commit to it and say, okay, I'm going to fast for this many hours, or I'm going to cut this out from my diet. Especially like too much sugar or too much caffeine, because too much caffeine can make us anxious, and then sugar will give us a high, but then the crash will be horrible. So sometimes, well, definitely fasting helps with that. But emotional eating is something that is a symptom of going through a warfare or a transition. It's a phase, and we don't want to bring more harm to ourselves by putting on extra weight, or possibly bringing on a health concern like diabetes, or if you have high blood pressure or anything like that. We don't want to be going through something in the moment, hurting ourselves, thinking we're, treating ourselves. We're really hurting ourselves, and in the long term, we have to deal with that. And so that's one way that we can help when we're going through that transitional phase. The minister also encourages us to study during these times, because we're going to hear our own voices a lot, right? when we're going through something, we're going to hear our own voices and we're going to tell ourselves what we want to hear. But by studying the Word, whether it's the Bible or the Holy Quran or a book by the minister, or just knowledge, feeding knowledge into your mind, feeling knowledge into your soul is going to give your mind something else to think about. It's going to help redirect your focus from whatever it is you're going through and help feed you something better, that you're not just sitting there and just being caught up in your own thoughts and having ruminant thoughts, or however the expression is. And so this is just something I wanted to share. Again, just raw and uncut, no editing, no all of that. I just wanted to share that because these are trying times we're in. They're stressful times, and we just want to be the best we can, for ourselves, our spouses, our families, everyone who loves us. So please keep in mind what I'm saying and share in the comments below if you have anything else you'd like to share or build on, or correct me if I'm wrong, because we're all students, right? And inshallah, I will be back for part 3. If there's any area you would like to discuss or you would like for me to talk about, you can also comment below. And I pray that Allah God keeps us all safe and protected. Till next time. Assalamu alaikum.